This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
30,000, that's how many meals a local church wants to pack up for those in need. We'll tell you about the effort next. Hey everyone, thanks for hanging out. I'm Ken Karen. You're watching local news in HD on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 513 and in SD on Channel 13. And the free Samsung Productions app lets you stream us on your Apple TV and with Google Chromecast. Here's our Wednesday headlines now from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. What impact, if any, will the newly released congressional maps have on the upcoming primary May election? Pennsylvania's acting Secretary of State Robert Torres explains that congressional candidates will now follow a revised schedule.
It will mean a slightly delayed nomination petition filing period. They'll still have the same amount of time that all other candidates have, 3 weeks to circulate nomination petitions, collect signatures, and turn them into the Department of State. The only real difference in the calendar is when that occurs. Candidates for other offices are circulating petitions right now. Candidates for U.S. Congress will be beginning next Tuesday, and they'll have until March 20th to complete that process.
Torres says the only change voters will see in many cases will be the names of some congressional candidates on the ballot. Meanwhile, Republican members of Congress and Republican state lawmakers plan to sue in federal court as early as today in an effort to block use of the new congressional map. And a reminder that the Hazleton Area School District will host a conversation on school safety tonight. The forum will take place in the large group instruction room at the Hazleton Area Career Center. It begins immediately after tonight's school board meeting, which starts at 6 p.m. And you're invited to join a special project aimed at ending hunger in our area. Lisa Sugar has the details on how you can help.
One church in our area is hosting a major event. It is in conjunction with the Lenten season, but it is in conjunction especially with the church's 200th anniversary celebration. And that church is Christ Lutheran Church on Main Street in Cunningham. Here to tell us about this monumentous event that will help to make 30,000 meals for those in need is Brother Fred Jaxheimer. He is the organizer of this special event, and he's also a parishioner at Christ Lutheran Church. So tell us about this. This is an outreach ministry event, and it's in conjunction with End Hunger NE. So tell us all about that.
Well, we partner with End Hunger Northeast to make these meals. They provide all of the dried ingredients, the food, and the equipment to make the meals. We provide the place and the volunteers. And the community, a big circle of the community gets together, and we can make 8,000 to 10,000 meals an hour.
Wow.
And we really were excited because we wanted to do something where we could place the meals locally. The meals will go out to pantries and mission right here in Lower Luzerne County.
Tell us just a couple of the names. I know, like you said, the Valley Food Pantry, Catholic Social Services will benefit from this.
Yes, and Salvation Army in Berwick, Brandon's Forever Home, Black Creek Food Pantry. Oh, there's over 16 of them in the area.
Wow, that is really wonderful. So this special event that they'll be putting the meals together is Saturday, March 17th. But right now, tell us, I guess, why this was so important to do this and what you've learned through the process.
Well, I think we decided that doing a meal packaging event was a way to not only help get food to the hungry, but to educate people on how we can actually contribute and that we can do more than we think we can do. When you see 8,000 to 10,000 meals being done in an hour with your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, that is something that you remember. And we can do it for a really low cost. 25 cents feeds a child, $1 feeds a family of 4, because the materials, the ingredients are all being bought in bulk. The labor is all volunteer, and the meals they're not shipped any great distance. They're placed right here in the community.
But you need money to pay for the meals, and you need manpower to make the meals. So we want to make a plea today for people to donate or to volunteer to help.
Yes, we do. We need about 150 volunteers. We're going to do 2 shifts, a shift at 9:30 that runs to about noon, and an afternoon shift that runs from 1:30 to almost 4. We don't know that we'll need that much time, but we left a little extra since this is our first time doing such a big event. We do need people to volunteer to help make the meals. We need even heavy lifters that can lift 33 pounds and help move the meals after they're boxed. And we also need contributions. We've raised almost enough for 25,000 meals. I've been really encouraged by the involvement of the community, but we need to push for that last 5,000. Also, I'd like to say that if anyone knows of food pantries or missions in our area that would appreciate these meals, I still have about 7,000 to place, so they could contact me or the church, and I would really like to place all of the meals.
Congratulations on the church's anniversary, and congratulations on the good programs that you are doing in trying to help the community.
Oh, thank you.
Our pleasure having you here. I hope you can support this really wonderful cause.
Thanks, Lisa. The United States jumped back into 5th place in the medal standings after winning a gold and a bronze on day 12 at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. An emotional Lindsey Vonn won bronze in the women's downhill. It was the final time she'll be doing her signature event at the Olympics. However, she will be in the skiing combine tonight in primetime. And Kikan Randall and Jessie Diggins won the cross-country skiing team sprint event in thrilling fashion, giving the U.S. their first ever gold in the sport. After the short program in women's figure skating, Mariah Nagasu is in 9th place. The other 2 Americans are in 10th and 11th place, heading into the free skate on Thursday. The U.S. men's hockey team lost in a shootout to the Czech Republic, so they will not play for a medal. And a reminder that our SSPTV programming is available tonight and every Wednesday from 6:30 until 8 p.m. on our high-definition channel 513. You can also catch a rebroadcast of SSPTV News tonight at 8 p.m. on both channels, channel 13 and in HD on 513. In sports, Dave Seaman and I chat about a local angle on this year's NBA dunk contest. And up next, we learn about some upcoming classes being offered at the Greater Hazleton YWCA. This is SSPTV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Janine is back talking more social media tips. And today you told me you're going to talk about media business tips.
Okay.
So let's start with, if I have a friend page, do I want to convert it? Do I want to have 2 pages? How do I handle that?
Okay, so you definitely need a friend page to have a business page, which means, and we've talked about this on the segments, your friend page is set up through your Facebook through an email address. So if you want that friend page to be private, then use your email for that one and create a different email for your friend page that's going to be connected to your business page. Now, let's go over and say that your friend page is something that you're thinking of converting over to a like page.
Oh, okay.
The difference is this, that your friend page, Facebook is very crafty because it's free, is that your friend page can only have 5,000 likes. Once you get to 5,000 likes, people can follow you, but they can't they could friend request you. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, do you want to change that over to a like page, or do you want to keep it a friend page? For myself, I've kept it after talking to people who have a lot of friends, if they're TV personalities or if they have a lot of likes on their page, followers, they say to keep your friend page a friend page. Because although you get to the 5,000, you can always delete people and be more selective as other people are friend requesting you. Mm-hmm. If you change that friend page over to a like page, then you are losing some capability of communicating with your audience. For me, I like to have some fun with my audience, and I know recently I've been, throwing in a lot of Tim Tebow pictures, which gets people fried up or they're on board, but I just get a kick out of it, so I like to have that interaction with the people that I'm friends with on my own friend page. But it's nice to just throw in some of the things that you're involved in and things that you like on your page. So I would say if you have a friend page that you have 5,000 followers or friends on there, keep it that way because you can interact. And then sadly, you know, you're going to have to be selective if you have a friend request. You're going to have to go through your friend list and kind of weed out people that you aren't really networking with as much.
Sure, somebody that'll benefit that wants to do business with you
Yeah.
or is interested in your business page. So how often are we posting then? You said we have to be consistent with our posts.
Yes, I would be consistent with your posts, and the nice thing about having that business page is you can follow all the information that Facebook does allow you when people are going to your page, when people are hitting on certain topics. You can watch that. So if you do a post on your business page, you can see if it interests people, if it's shared, if it's liked. I would start with at least being consistent and post something of substance once a week. For a lot of people, that seems like a lot if they aren't really into Facebook or they're not savvy. Again, we're talking about Facebook the most for social media because in this market in northeastern Pennsylvania, Facebook is the it social media. But I do believe, like others in the business, that Instagram will be the new Facebook of the future. Facebook will be picking up speed and momentum, and I think there's going to be a lot of different changes to Instagram. Then I'm just, you know, this is just my opinion, that they're going to be doing different things so that businesses can market themselves better on Instagram as well.
For more Tim Tebow news in the second part of this segment, make sure you check back next Wednesday right here on SSP TV News.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
The Earth was located in a double star system. This is what it would look like, plus we'd all probably be dead from the heat. But here's two suns in downtown Hazleton, and beautiful shots like this make you realize how dirty the camera lens is. Here's our weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, we can expect some scattered showers, 40% chance. It will be cloudy with a low of 34 degrees. On Thursday, rain, 80% chance of precipitation, will only hit 36 degrees. At night, we're down to 31 degrees, 40% chance of some rain. Friday, 90% chance of precipitation, rain with a high near 42. At night, 50% chance of rain, cloudy. We'll have a low of 38 degrees. Back up to 50 degrees on Saturday, and rain is likely. Rain likely again on Saturday night with a low of 41. Again, we can expect some rain on Sunday, high of 52. Mostly cloudy on Sunday night, low in the mid-30s.
Well, I think we're all hoping that the weather would stay warm and that we could go swimming outdoors. But until that happens, there is a place that the youngsters can swim. It's at the Hazleton YWCA. Here to tell us about the youth swim lessons that will soon be starting up again is Joanne Gabriel. She is the membership and school age director for the Y. This is a wonderful program because kids really can go through it from a very young age to an older age and then advance into your swim team as well.
Yes, that is correct. So as young as 6 months old,
Wow.
we have lessons where the parent or an adult can go in the pool with a child and learn how to swim, just to get comfortable in the water, especially safety in the water. It progresses up through different levels, obviously advancing with their comfortableness in the water and learning stroke development, and it goes to the age of 12. And starting March 4th week, we start our spring session, which is 6 weeks, and currently we are starting our registration for our youth swim lessons.
Now, for children who maybe don't start that young, do you think, I know you've taught children in schools as well over the years, do you think that kids have an apprehension if they're not exposed to the water that early? You think this is really a plus when they're familiar with it from such a young age?
I definitely do, and I also think that when kids see other kids and how they are in the water, it helps them to learn and grow. So if their parent is uncomfortable with them in the water, the parent sometimes needs the support and see other parents in the water with their child. So you can start at 6 months old, but if you happen to be 6 and have not had any experience in the water, there's beginning lessons for 6-year-olds to be comfortable in the water also.
What sense of accomplishment do you get when you see these kids? Because then some of them become excellent swimmers and part of the Hazy swim team, which you're known for.
Right, so our Hazy swim team has athletes who just love to be in the water, and their love of being in the water probably started when they were much younger and had lessons from 6 months old till they were 5 or 6 years old. We have swim team participants who are as young as 6 years old, and they are, breaking records, as we like to say, and they love to compete, but they also love to be in the water. And we do have adult swim lessons, but it is very, to let the child be exposed to it. It may not be something that they would like to do when they're older, but let them be exposed to it and let them be comfortable in it, because there might be an opportunity for them to, later on in their life, be in a pool or in an ocean, and we want them to be safe in the water.
And maybe you'll be one of the future stars of the Hazy swim team.
Thanks again, Lisa. Let's take a look at our midday winning lottery numbers from the Pennsylvania Lottery for this Wednesday. Pick 2, 9-4. The year Penn State went undefeated. Pick 3, 901. Pick 4, 3597. Pick 5, 57370. The wild number is 0, the number of losses Penn State had in 1994. When we come back, it's Dave Day in sports.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
It's time for Dave Day here on SSP TV News with Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker sports editor. And Dave, I read online, actually, went to the Standard Speaker on Saturday to check out how the Schuylkill League Girls Championship went. And do you think I was the only person who was shocked by the score that Monoy area from Division III gets a 51-35 win over Division I champ North Schuylkill?
I don't think the shock was that Monoy area won the game. I think the shock was in the score, because Monoy area controlled the game from start to finish. And you got to realize North Schuylkill had only one loss going into that game. Lost to Abington Heights in non-league play. They rolled through the Schuylkill League Division I, arguably one of the toughest divisions in all of Pennsylvania. They did a great job getting through that, but Monoy area's played well for it's been a continuation. If you look at Monoy area's success over the last 3 seasons, you got deep into the playoffs in each of the state playoffs in each of the last 2 seasons. They won a division last year for the first time. They got to, be in the Schuylkill League playoffs, get that experience of playing at Martz Hall a few times, and you go into a game against North Schuylkill, you're not going to be, back down or be afraid of North Schuylkill. Monoy area always plays that way. They have shooters on their team. You make a couple of shots and you play defense the way the Lady Bears can play defense. It's a recipe for a championship.
And Dave, I was shocked by the score after seeing both teams, but I think it's a testament to how good Monoy is. And as for North Schuylkill, like you said, they're a great team, and I think they're going to be okay going into the District 11 playoffs.
Yeah, but they're going to have a tough draw. Where they are in their district, it's a tough bracket. They're in a sub-region with District 1. They have to bounce back from that loss. We'll see what happens now.
And Dave, also over the weekend, you had a column talking about, I guess, the dominance of the Hazleton area basketball team recently this season in the Wyoming Valley Conference, a string of championships in Division 1. And then they named the all-conference team the MVP, and Josh Samick gets it this year for Hazleton area. But 3 years in a row that the Cougars have had the MVP, Mike Joseph, Coach of the Year, and a couple of players on the first and second all-conference teams. Yeah,
you really could pick any of those four key players for the Cougars to be an MVP this year. I think Josh stepped up a little bit, toward the end of the season when they needed him to. Joey Gruhl was out with an injury. I believe it was against Myers. They had a close game up at Coughlin and Wilkes-Barre, and Josh stepped up in that game and a couple other games where Josh really stepped forward. Again, not taking anything away from Demir Faison and Jeff Planutis, because they also played well as Joey Gruhl. That foursome has been, as good as any four, not only in northeastern Pennsylvania, but in the state of Pennsylvania. And Josh, well deserved. He does everything on the floor. He's, his outside shooting is uncanny for someone his size, 6'8". He's able to make 3-pointers, but he's shown an inside game a lot this year. He's his strength inside. He has a lot of good post-up moves inside, and defensively he's improved. He's blocked a lot of shots, and rebounding. Coach Mike Joseph has always said too, when there's a rebound to be had, Josh Samick always gets to rebound. He leads the team with rebounds. I believe he has more than 8 a game. So definitely a well-deserved honor.
And Dave, also over the weekend, I watched the NBA dunk contest. First time in a while, Donovan Mitchell paid tribute to Vince Carter, and he won. Now, Larry Nance Jr. was in the competition, and he came in second. His dad, Larry Nance Sr., won the first ever NBA dunk contest in 1984. And I'm talking about this because there's a local tie. We had Farley in recently, Dave, who wrote the book, Trumpet Call to Victory, The Final Years of Hazleton St. Gabriel's Basketball. I interviewed him, and he talked about one of the greatest players in our area, Paul Hoffman.
One of the little stories in that book, I talk about Bruce Ellis, who follows basketball around here to this day, and told me that as far as he's concerned, Hoffman's the best player ever to come out of the city. Bruce watches basketball all the time to this day, NBA, college, everything. And he was watching the first NBA dunk contest. And it was won by a player who dunked, it was like, I think 1984 was the first one. And the player who won it did it by dunking 2 basketballs at the same time. And Bruce said, I'm watching that and I'm thinking, I saw Paul Hoffman do that same thing at Pine Street Playground in 1968.
And you can purchase Trumpet Call to Victory on Amazon, and Farley will be featured on March's Out of Left Field. So Dave, Paul Hoffman, good basketball player, and the book really highlights that and just how good it was at that time. There's a lot of national stories with Digger Phelps being around and coach he would eventually become, and also that very interesting tidbit about the dunk contest. And it came from a man who you said kind of mentored you.
Yeah, Bruce Ellis, who's right now the PA announcer at Hugh McGeehan Gymnasium for the Cougar boys basketball games. Longtime coach and scout in the area too, and he's my high school English teacher. He kind of got me pointed toward journalism and kind of nurtured my love for sports and for writing, and kind of like a mentor to me, like you said. He's a Hall of Fame writer in his own right, a renowned auto racing writer that knows a lot about auto racing, probably more than anybody in the area. Maybe Dino Alberto, I don't know. But Bruce knows his auto racing, and but he also knows his basketball. And Bruce was a coach. He was a college kid at the time, and he coached at the Pine Street Playground. And he got to see a lot of those St. Gabriel's kids that he coached, that played at St. Gabriel's, including Paul Hoffman. And Bruce tells me today that Paul Hoffman was certainly the best player to ever come out of the Hazelton area, and I believe it because he's a wealth of knowledge, and nobody sees more basketball games in Pennsylvania and in the region than Bruce Ellis too, and he knows what he's talking about.
Dave, thank you for your time. There's a lot coming up in local sports with championships in basketball, swimming, wrestling. As things wind down in the winter sports season, Dave Seaman and the Standard Speaker sports staff will have you covered.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. The Greater Hazelton Chamber of Commerce is still looking for businesses to participate in the 2018 Greater Hazelton Job Fair. Cost is $250 per booth for chamber members and $350 per booth for non-chamber members. For more information, you can contact the Chamber at the number or email on your screen. And the Tamaqua Community Arts Center will be having a Pasanki Egg Workshop on Saturday, February 24th from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. Seating is limited, so make sure you call 570-668-1192 to reserve your seat. And that's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Margaret Ann Borowski of Freeland. A gravesite service will be held Thursday at 11 a.m. at St. Anne's Parish Cemetery in Hazel Township. The Cleve Funeral Home in Shingleton is assisting the family. Roland L. Fuzzy Lowry Sr. of Sugarloaf Township. Services will be private under the Harmon Funeral Home in Drums. Mark L. Zumillo of Stafford, Virginia. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. at Holy Name of Jesus Parish at Transfiguration Church in West Hazelton. The Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home in West Hazelton is in charge of the arrangements. And Mary Alice Walp of Sybertsville. The Butler Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home will announce the arrangements. Attention pay-per-view subscribers! If you see your name now on SSPTV News, you can call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Today's winner is Barbara Carr of Hazelton. Call now and leave a message at 570-455-7267 extension 104 for your free movie.
So I'm going to Frankie's to eat New England clam chowder for some upcoming segments. I'm very excited. You can watch them here on Tuesdays on SSP TV News. Tomorrow, Dino Alberto, local motorsport journalist, returns to the newscast. He'll talk about some local connections to the Daytona 500. That's it for today. Remember, if you missed anything at all, you can go to our website or check us out on Facebook. I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.